Oh, what a day, eh? Oh, same as any other day, but just a bit wetter. Oh, look who it is. Furrmium. Hello. Furrmium's just arrived. No idea if anything's in the picture. Hoping it's the right level. And I'll make some tea, I think. We've got the Ghillie Kettle out again. Got some spring water. And I went to TK Maxx and got some teas. So try and brew something up. We've got all kinds in there, really. Sitting on the old 1906 and after smoking chair. Someone threw out an old smoking chair out of a front of a house in Addiscombe. As far as I know, looked it up, it seems to be made of beech and elm. Have to see. Let's see if I can even get this thing to burn. It's been a little while since I've fired it up, and I don't know if I've actually left enough air gap. Naturally, I don't feel perfect. Maybe something to do with the damp, maybe not, but I woke up this morning with that horrible tasting yellow bile again, which wasn't exactly very nice. So I had to get rid of a bit of that. But yeah, we've had a very dry spring, and then we've had a little bit of rain, not much. But finally we had something, and if we get a wet June, that would be good for the fruit trees again. I think we had a wet June about a year or two ago, and it done wonders for the fruit. I know at the allotment I've got a bumper crop of plums again this year, which is nice. Oh. But I've already filled up the Ghillie Kettle with water. So we're going to do a proper video this time, not just an upright one. Although they were quite nice during the winter months. Basically the fireplace going was quite nice. But I need to check the mortar in here. I might have to get some heat-proof mortar from somewhere and just check some areas. I don't know about plaster, but maybe there's a few little bits that need filling in. There's a crack at the bottom and at the back. See if we can get it sorted out. But yeah. Try and make some tea. This is basically hydrangea flowers, dried hydrangea flowers. We've got all kinds of stuff in there, but it might just go whoom up and then it will stop. But I'll have to keep feeding it. Getting it to keep burning is the issue. Oh. Look at that. Cool. And that is literally them hydrangea flowers. But it's all very well having it burn initially, but it needs to keep burning. And it seems to be a mad ignite at the beginning and then not much else. Oh. See, it went up in flames, but there's still not really enough heat. And that was with a little bit of barbecue fluid, which I shouldn't really have to use, but we've got lots of wood. There is loads of wood out there. But it also burns very fast. Very. Well, we're off at least. But keeping it going. Had bay leaf in there, we had hydrangea flower, little pieces of wood. But you'll be surprised how fast this stuff burns. Even the fireplace itself, very, very fast burning. So the fireplace, everything underneath must be the right height or drafting. But as you can see, it needs to really build heat. And drafting. It's not always easy to get to that point. I can hear something happening. Yeah, head is playing up, probably sinuses, forever sinuses. And we're off, we're finally off. So how long was that? Not long at all, really. I've tried to zoom out the camera as much as possible. I don't know if it's turned me off or not. Just randomly decided to stop recording, I don't know. No, it's still lit up at the back. Oh. So this is how you make tea indoors without using electricity. We've got a Ghillie Kettle. All natural ingredients apart from the igniter, and maybe there's a little bit of lighting gel. I mean, could probably do it without it. But I don't really have the concentration to dote on it, and you know, I mean, I spent enough time blowing on it. We're almost there now. Very damp and wet and blowy out. And Furrmium's just down here on the right. There we go. And how long was that? Not long at all. Oh. If only the kettle was made of copper and brass instead of what I suspect is aluminium. We all know about aluminium, don't we? And also this gets very hot on the front, and just a little ball on the top isn't really enough to stop you from getting a hot finger around the top here. It would be nice to have a bigger handle on the end of this. Makes a change. I didn't actually spill it everywhere, or not much anyway. And the embers are still quite warm, so it's boiling again basically. Oh, and that's how it's done. I need to remember to look in the garden for another one of these blocks. One of these, I've got two at the front, two high ones. Basically a self-made fireplace. Unfortunately, it's not permanent. I wanted all these blocks on the floor to be properly set and in a wood surround, but as you know, I've been left to my own devices, which is natural after your parents die. And here we go again with the whistling. Oh. But if I leave it, it should eventually stop. Yeah, and the boy's back again. Furrmium's back. I've got some ground up mullein leaf in there. Some fennel seed. Alexander's seed. And some Kintra. They had the Kintra tea mixes at TK Maxx, again the Australian stuff. I've got a couple of them. This is the energised one. I've got honey as well, and I'll put a bit of oregano in there too. It's dying down now, the heat's dying down, but it's still keeping warm, it's still hot. Puddy tack. Yeah. The old head, it's been a bit of a struggle recently. I'm just living day by day, knowing that there's not really anyone there. You just got to sort of cope, you've got to live your life, and well, being Gen X or late Gen X, been through worse. Struggled alone the majority of my life, and that's probably what I'm going to keep doing, just keep struggling on alone. And I'm happy out doing my own thing, really, so long as I can keep the stress and anxiety levels down, you know. And this is why I have these moments. Still boiling, you can see it moving slightly, it's bouncing around with the water boiling inside it. But yeah, sinuses, something like that really been pissing me off. Oh. But I think it could be a sinus infection, or it could just be that just so much pollution now, and every time the rain comes down it's not really nice, to be honest. Who knows what's in the air now. Oh. Oh, cool, that's pretty powerful. I mean, we got the honey in there, but the other stuff too. This is why if I've got herbal tea and I've got lots of herbs in it, I tend to keep it for a couple of days. It will slowly get weaker and weaker, but you'll still have you'll still have flavour. But I tend to use herbal tea over 2 or 3 days. So this is basically the strongest point. Oh, yeah. Quite powerful. Oh. Not feeling particularly verbose at the moment, to be honest. We had a big heat wave not long ago, maybe a week or so ago, and the new fish tank, it got to the point where I literally had to turn the heater off in the fish tank. It's a tropical tank, and I had to turn the heating off, the element. But even after I turned off the heat element, it was still pushing about 28 to 30 degrees in the fish tank. It was stupid how fucking hot it got in this flat. And as a result, I lost 2 of the older female guppies in there. Well, obviously they're not going to last forever, are they? But still, I picked one out, the other one just went missing completely. I don't know where it went. So I've only got the one big female guppy in there now. A load of males and lots of babies basically, and the 2 bottom feeders. But when we had that heat wave, I literally had to turn off the heating element for the fish tank. And thankfully it is a bit cooler now. It's definitely a bit cooler. And then of course I had to get more spring water, and I had to do a water change for the fish tank. But I took quite a lot of the water out this time because I was worried that there's a lot of algae growth in there now. We've got the brown algae, we've got green algae on the sides of the tank, and the plants in there are quite luscious now, and they're still growing. But I deliberately took more water out, doing a change, almost half the water, and that doesn't include what's actually in and below the gravel and under the sand. All that's saturated, so maybe not quite as much, but I did change more than usual, and they're looking pretty healthy. The weed in there is going pretty rampant. I mean, to be honest, I do need another tank. I mean, at least 2 minimum, because I would like to have 2 tanks. But now that 2 of the older live bearing females are gone, it's taking the pressure off a little bit until the other ones, the babies, start growing up. Oh. Yeah. So new phone. That was the first Ghillie Kettle tea recorded with the new phone, and you can see that I've got it in the fireplace. I didn't even have to use an electric kettle. There is an electric kettle, and a few days ago I wondered, why is everything in the shed area dead? I can't get the electric to work. Schoolboy error. I went to the ironmongers to get fuses, thinking the fuse had blown somewhere, changing fuses outside. Up here in the bedroom where it's, I thought it was plugged in. Then I just simply realised that I'd unplugged that cable that eventually leads to a extension, not a wind up extension, then it goes outside. I'd simply unplugged it to put the hoover in to do hoovering. So after all that, just looked an idiot. Oh, because I just done some hoovering. I done the kitchen, the hallway and the bathroom. I've not done the living room because it's just so full of stuff and it's too complicated for me to really. This is where the majority of the cat hair is, and there's other dirt and crap on the carpet, and where Furrmium's knocked over plants and his compost on the floor. It's amazing how much mess that cat makes. It really is. He makes so much mess. The state he's left the kitchen in, simply jumping up and tramping everywhere when I'm not here. It's filthy. The kitchen is filthy, and I just don't have the balance, the concentration, or my head's playing me up because of sinuses. Not got the right glasses on or something, so I'm looking at the wash basin and everything's blurred. I can't concentrate. I'm constantly going through different pairs of glasses and changing glasses for reading mid-range and distance. It's stupid, it really is. So yeah, I found out like an idiot that I did have power, it's just that I didn't plug it in after I'd finished the hoovering. Oh dear. And there's me thinking a fuse had blown downstairs and tripped something. Looked at the fuses in the kitchen, nothing. But just damage. Decades and decades of stress and anxiety and poo-poo stuff happening, and which continues to happen. But I lead myself to find my own happiness and peace, even if it means I've got to literally forget everyone and ignore everyone because I'm not really getting any help at the moment. Still haven't cut the grass out the front in the garden, and don't even get me started on the allotment. Oh dear. Oh boy. But yeah. That's about it really. Just a quick video of me having a brew in the living room. Need to do more tidying up in here, in the old flat, especially hoovering, and the kitchen. Basically the kitchen needs all the units need washing down, but the units in the kitchen are very tired. You can tell they're very tired. The fake marbling effect is literally rubbing off now. But as to whether it'll ever get done or not, I don't know. Just got to wait and see if the responsible people are going to be responsible on my behalf. If not, it's just survival again, isn't it? Putty tat, yeah. At least I don't have to be lonely. like I normally am or have been for years. I've got Esmaflorine and I've got Furrmium here, and I've got a few fish now, as well as my cactus collection. It's nice to have company, even if it's not human. The top's still a bit hot, really. Be interested if I can see if I can replace that with something better, something longer. So I don't have to burn myself every time. And I think that's about it. Pretty tight. Even this old chair needs some kind of bodge restoration. It's finding someone to do it. It's a lovely chair, it's very good for the back. And I'll catch you on the next video.